this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better.
Hello, good people. Welcome to Raw Vegan Rising. My name is Shane Sterling. I'm so glad you're here on this video with me. Oh, yes, I am. A big hello to all the truth seekers and modern mystics and soul warriors and light workers out there. I know all of you are coming here to this channel to find the truth. And that's what we're doing. We are truth seekers. We are peeking behind the curtain of how things work, finding the universal law that makes everything work. The title of this video is 3 Eating Habits You Didn't Know Are Trauma Responses. I think most of how we eat is a trauma response, and we're going to talk about it. But first, you know what? I wanted to share something with you. I wanted to share something I found on a walk the other day. I was out walking in my neighborhood, and I stopped at a certain point, and I didn't even know why. I just stopped, and I looked down, and there on the ground was a feather. Look at this feather. Do you know what feather this is? This is the feather of a great horned owl. I felt so cool when I found this. I was like, wow, that's like medicine, you know? It's cool to find an owl feather. And I have found one other owl feather in my whole life. So it felt really, really special to find a feather from a great horned owl. The other feather I found many, many years ago, I was in my late 20s, was from a barn owl. So finding the feather from a great horned owl is super cool. And this is the nature of how reality works. I mean, we tune into things. There's spiritual connection of things. And this is why eating a raw vegan diet is so powerful. This is why I'm a raw vegan. I'm a raw vegan because it activates my higher cognitive functions in my brain and in my spirit. It makes me be able to see between the veils, between the dimensions, and I can manifest things easier. I can see more clearly. I can do the dance with life as I need to do. I can get a sense of when I need to stop, where I need to look to find the owl feather that's been sitting there, how knows how long. This is what a raw vegan diet really gives us. It gives us an extrasensory perception. It gives us emotional healing. It gives us a deeper intimacy with ourselves and an intimacy with our problems. Spiritual enlightenment isn't about seeking the light or seeking higher consciousness. It's about shedding light on our shadow. All the people who are the most enlightened that we come across in our lives are going to be people who have integrated their shadow, people who get intimate with their traumas and integrate them into who they are. So becoming more spiritual or more powerful or more ourselves isn't something that we learn how to get past our problems and we kind of evolve into this new version of ourselves. No, it's that we take those problems, we take that part of ourselves that's been wounded and injured and in so much pain and despair and grief, and we bring that along and we make that a part of who we are, and we bring it and we share it. That's what real emotional intelligence and spiritual enlightenment really is about. And this is why I use raw food to help me do that. So if we're talking about eating habits and trauma responses, this is the fundamental, is how do we treat ourselves because of the trauma responses? Look, we're all injured, we're all wounded. We're born on this planet completely whole and innocent and perfect. And then at some point in our childhood or young adolescence, we are betrayed, we are heartbroken, we are traumatized, and we fragment. This is what generates the responses of how we act and behave in our life. The subconscious mind is always trying to restore balance to the trauma, heal the traumas, heal the original wounding, heal that first betrayal and heartbreak. So it brings up patterns in our life to try to heal it. This becomes our eating habits. This becomes the habits of intimacy with ourselves. Now I'm going to say I have a free video course on how to go raw vegan. It's exactly where to start if you're interested in a raw vegan diet, and it's freaking powerful. And it's everything I've learned over the years of how to help people go raw vegan, hearing hundreds of thousands of comments and questions. This is what I've distilled down into the main hurdles, the main questions, the main stumbling blocks for people. It's 6 videos, and I address what you need to know of where to start on a raw vegan diet. Now, this is completely free. This is my free video course. There's a link in the description. You put in your name and email. I will not spam you, and you can unsubscribe at any time. It is my service to you to help you know how to become a raw vegan. Start here. And that's the title. How to Go Raw Vegan. Start here. I highly recommend you sign up for that. But now we're going to talk about the 3 eating habits you didn't know are trauma responses. Okay, now we know that all addictive behaviors are really an attempt to avoid and escape that part of ourself that's wounded. We're trying to escape temporarily, to numb out. This is what people use drugs for: tobacco and alcohol, and of course food and sex and everything else that we use to avoid our feelings. Now, we have really used food. We all do. We all use food to avoid our feelings, to numb out, to sedate ourselves, So let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about it in the least obvious, the most obvious to the least obvious. So I've got 3 points here. And this first one, most people know about. The last one, no one knows about. Okay? So let's talk about it. Number 3 is overeating. Overeating and undereating, even, are just forms of short-term avoidance of negative emotions. We're avoiding parts of ourselves that are really painful. So we use food to numb out, and so we're overeating. We will gain weight and we will get fat. Also, we might get fat because we are traumatized, and we're trying to avoid unwanted attention from people that have abused us. This is known. Psychological reasons for overeating. So, of course, these eating habits are driven by trauma. And that's normal. It's okay. We all have it. Our eating habits are driven by trauma, especially addictive overeating and undereating. Now, number 2 on my list is too much cooked food. Too much cooked food is a trauma response. Why? Because it's a sedative. Cooked food takes us out of the present moment and puts us in a state like drinking alcohol, where we don't have to think about our feelings. It's an avoidance mechanism. It's avoiding our emotions. Now, a little bit of cooked food can be maybe part of a healthy diet, but we, of course, consume way too much cooked food in our society. If we overconsume cooked foods, processed foods, animal products, cooking up everything we eat is cooked, we are just avoiding our emotions. It's a trauma response. What we really want to do is face the feelings, because here's the thing. If we can face the feelings of this grief and this shame and this trauma that has been afflicted upon us, this betrayal and this heartbreak, if we can feel it, it breaks over us. It washes over us like a wave. Now, a wave will crash and be intense, but it quickly dissipates and it's gone. That's what we need to do. We need to stop and feel the emotions so that we don't have to sedate ourselves. And it will be scary and it will be gone in an instant. When we stop and face the phantom, we realize it was never there and it moves. Then we move closer to a higher cognitive experience. We move closer to our ascension, our awakening, our own personal enlightenment, because we have faced the shadow, we have faced our trauma. We've integrated the trauma by simply stopping the process of numbing out. So in our society, our obsession with cooked foods and junk foods and pizzas and hot dogs and fast food on every corner is a trauma response. That means our entire society is highly traumatized. Our entire society is running on unconscious trauma responses. That leads me to number one, which probably most people don't think about, or maybe possibly have never thought about. The eating habit of cooking meat is a trauma response because it's a survival fear. It's a root ancestral trauma. This is a trauma that goes back thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. Killing for survival is not something we would naturally want to do. Even if we agree we're omnivores, we don't have to kill for survival. Then why do we? It's a trauma response. It's a trauma response because we misunderstand our own nature. We think we are predators because we are in survival mode. We are in fight or flight mode. We are in an adrenaline reactionary response to a situation that is survival fear. It is not something that is crafted out of beauty and joy, a vision of the future, who we could be, who we want to be. No, it's reaction to the past. It's reaction to the pain. It's reaction to our trauma, not healing the trauma, but re-traumatizing over and over. Our entire society is re-traumatized over and over by cooking meat, killing for survival, misunderstanding that we're not truly predators. We're kind and benevolent creatures here to bestow gifts of peace and harmony. That's our true nature, peace and harmony within our own heart, higher cognitive functioning with the connection with the divine and all oneness. When we feel the oneness with all life and consciousness, we don't want to destroy it. We don't want to eat it. We don't want to kill it and cook it. That is a trauma response left over from our ancestors. Now, we can clear the ancestral trauma. We clear the ancestral trauma through detoxification, through getting intimate with our problems. You know, the best form of emotional detoxification, which leads to physical detoxification, is to become intimate with our trauma. If we can get intimate with our ancestral trauma, we will be able to clear it and move it. Detoxify the body with fresh, raw, living foods. This activates the higher cognitive functions, which gives us the courage and the insight to face the traumas and to face the fears. Otherwise, we might just be too caught up in it. We can't fight fire with fire. We can't solve the problem from the same level the problem was created. We have to lift ourselves up out of that trauma wounding response mechanism, the habits, the eating habits, and form a new habit of way of thinking. We want to start with a juice fast because it floods our cells with raw, living, fresh nutrition. It activates our cellular matrix, literally with biophotons and enzymes, in a way that is hard to replicate. And that can start us in the process of breaking the pattern, breaking the habit, doing a juice fast. And then we really, really, truly need accountability and support on the journey. If there's one thing we need to break the eating habits, to heal the ancestral trauma response of cooking meat and eating overly cooked foods, to rise up, to raise our vibration, to become the powerful people that we want to be the best version of ourselves, truly, we need accountability. No one else around us is doing it. Our society's not doing it. The person with the biggest vision wins. A vision is like a program that's running in your mind. If you don't have a vision, the default vision is going to download and program your mind. The person with the biggest vision wins. And right now, it's a pretty big vision, the state of our trauma response in our society, in our civilization. Junk food, fast food, overly cooked food, freezers and aisles filled with denatured, horrible food in the grocery stores that does not serve us, that does not love us, that does not activate us, that does not heal us. So the first step, though, is accountability. So all the craziness out in the world just is craziness out in the world, and we have a support system. We have a team, okay? And then we need support. We need people there by our sides to support us on a transition, to empower ourselves, to change our eating habits. And then we need knowledge. We need the knowledge of how to do a juice fast. We need the knowledge of how to eat raw foods, how to become the best version of ourselves. And this is why I've created Raw Vegan Heroes. Raw Vegan Heroes is my group coaching program for accountability. It's the power of the community and the group. Information is free. Information is free on Google. Go on Google and type in anything and you'll get the information. But that's overwhelming. It's conflicting. You'll drive yourself crazy. It's a landmine of conflicting information. Choose the vibration you want and seek accountability, support, mentorship, and guidance in that area. That's what Raw Vegan Heroes is for. It's not for information. It's for accountability and support. The quickest way to go from where we are to where we want to be is accountability and mentorship with someone who's gone before us. In the hero's journey, In the hero's mythology, the hero is called. The hero is called on a mission, and they are reluctant because they feel flawed. They feel incapable. They feel unworthy of saying yes to the mission. And a mentor will present themselves to help usher the hero across that threshold of resistance, across the threshold of fear. The mentor is simply there to show them they can do it. And then once they cross that threshold of fear in the hero's mythology, the mentor disappears, is gone. Then the hero is on their own journey of self-discovery, of letting the old habits die, of letting the old self die. And from the new self, the ashes, we rise from the ashes like the phoenix. We create the new self, the new best version of ourself, and we bring that home to ourselves, to our families, and our communities. This is how we heal the ancestral trauma. And it starts by getting support and accountability. There's no more powerful way than the movement of a community. So Raw Vegan Heroes is for our own hero's journey. It's a support community for accountability. It's about mentorship. It's something that we all need. And I would love to take a minute to tell you what you get when you join. The highest level accountability, world-class health coaching, from myself and my 3 assistant coaches in the group, the Raw Vegan Heroes Success Path video course, which is a 37-part video series I made. It took me a year to make this video course on how to go from a non-vegan to a raw vegan hero. It's the emotional, mental, and spiritual transformation we go on when we embark on our own hero's journey. Okay, and we need a mentor on this process, and I'm here to help mentor you with this video course. Also, we get a private Facebook group with almost 1,000 members. We are almost at 1,000 members in Raw Vegan Heroes, and it is so powerful to have that many people behind you, supporting you, loving you, cheering you on. It's life-changing. I promise you, you have to experience it. We also get a weekly live stream. I do a weekly Q&A every week to support the members and give coaching to them. This is mentorship. This is guidance. You've got everything you need. I'm not giving you information. I'm just saying you've got it within yourself. You can do it. And we're all in this together. We've got to love each other and support each other. And there's 100+ hours of live stream replays in an easy to access library. As soon as you join, you get instant access to 100 hours of live stream Q&A. It's an incredible resource. A monthly Zoom meeting for all the members, which is incredible. We can all meet face to face. My 14-day meal plan, which is a transitional cooked vegan, high raw, fully raw educational meal plan guide on how to create raw vegan recipes out of cooked vegan recipes. It's a 74-page document. It's highly valuable and educational, and it's worth the price of Raw Vegan Heroes just for that document. Shopping list, kitchen tool recommendations, over 60 recipes. You also get my Hot Topics training module, which has 3 videos in it, okay? How to achieve exceptional energy and vitality with raw food. This is a training video on achieving vitality and energy. The other video is the complete guide to raw vegan protein sources, okay? Breaking down the exact guide to raw vegan protein sources. Such an important topic. And then the other video, the third video in the Hot Topics training module, is how to gain muscle on a raw vegan diet, because gaining muscle is part of our confidence building process. To be a confident person, we need to build muscle. I'm 200 pounds, 6'2", 15% body fat. I'm strong AF because I go to the gym, I clean my gut, I eat whole, unprocessed, undenatured food, and I do strength training, progressive overload training in the gym. And this is what that video is about. And then the most important thing, last but not least, the most important thing that you get when you join Raw Vegan Heroes is my bowel detoxification guide, part 1 and 2. Part 1 is how to do a juice fast to clean out your gut, the most important step so you can digest and utilize and absorb raw foods properly. This means you will get more nutrition from less food. You will eventually need to buy less food to get more nutrition. You will need to eat less food, and you will digest and utilize the proteins and fats and carbs better to put on more muscle and be stronger with less food. It's such an important step. I have the complete detoxification protocol outlined for you exactly how to empty your bowels, get out biofilms and plaque. I'm telling you, it's life-changing. It's worth the price of Raw Vegan Heroes just for that bowel detoxification guide. And then part 2 of the guide is how to break the fast and rebuild the gut over a year's process of rebuilding and restructuring your microbiome to thrive on raw foods. Okay? That's why we need a year. We need a year to transition our gut. We need a year of accountability and support and detoxification. We need the knowledge of how to do it. That's what my group is for, so you can change your eating habits. Okay? And in summary, I'd like to say we change our eating habits and our ancestral traumas with foods and our trauma responses by getting intimate with our problems. It's saying yes to the calling, letting a mentor help us walk past the threshold of resistance and fear. Because once we do that, we are the phoenix rising from the ashes. We can do anything. I want to see a vegan world. I want to see a world where people are healed, where people are benevolent, kind, looking for win-win situations. I am here to help train leaders, other leaders in the field of plant-based eating and lifestyle, training leaders in how to be the most vibrant, best version of themselves. That's my goal. That's my mission. I actually wanted to share in closing to this video, I'd love to share 2 messages I got yesterday and the day before. And this is so powerful. I would love to share this with you. This first one came in an email the day before yesterday. It says, I'm just thinking back to a year and a half ago when I was bedridden and weak from death. I'd almost given up, man. I'd been suffering for 15 years and was only 31. I was ready to die. Then I found your channel and you saved my life, man. You brought me back from the dead. You better know how important you are and the importance of what you do. You are my fucking hero, and I will be forever grateful and indebted to you. Thank you so much, Danny. Amazing testimonial. Danny was in Raw Vegan Heroes. The second message that came in yesterday says, Shane, you are the real celebrity for me, the real hero. I had almost 20 chronic diseases. They are all gone now because of your lessons. I'm 100% raw, mostly mono meals. I got a new body after I switched to a raw diet. I'm on a raw diet for the last 6 months now. My body doesn't ask for cooked foods anymore. My anxiety is 99% gone. My IBS is gone, irritable bowel syndrome. I have a new gut microbiome because of my food choices now. I pray our Creator for your long life. So sweet. You are my hero, the real hero. I have literally watched all of your videos multiple times, and your videos are my energy source. Long live the king. Parv. Okay, that's an incredible testimonial. Both of those are. I want to say a special thank you to both of the people who wrote those messages to me. It's a great confirmation that what I'm doing is powerfully transformational and that we all need to be heroes in our life. You know, I'm just the messenger for the truth. I'm a truth seeker. I want to know how it works. I'm peeking behind the curtain to find the natural laws at work. Raw foods is just aligning with a natural law. We've got to do it. We've got to stop overeating the cooked foods. We've got to empower ourselves and become the best version of ourselves. We've got to let the ancestral traumas go, the past pain and struggle go. Let's reinvent through a beautiful vision of our future how to be the best version of ourselves. And you know what? Enroll yourself in who you get to be. That's the only task at hand. It's the only thing you need to do. Enroll yourself in who you're becoming. I promise it will change your life, just like it did for Danny and Parv, who sent me these messages, because this is what I teach. Enroll yourself in who you want to be. Don't do the habits. Don't do the vision of someone else. Don't buy into the BS that keeps us small, like animal products and cooked foods and cooked meats and dairy and all that stuff that keeps us down. It's not just about food. It's not just about nutrition. It's about what we are creating. It's about the earth we are creating. It's about the person we are creating, the temple that we inhabit and dwell in. How clean is your temple? How connected is your temple? That's where it is. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's how we change the earth. That's how we change ourselves. So, Raw Vegan Heroes is my support system to you. Much love and blessings. I wish everybody could be in this powerful community and movement that we're all in together supporting. It's so much bigger than any one of us, and it is the wave of the future. This is the future. Raw foods, juices. I have a juice right here. Lower density foods going into the past. We don't need it. Higher vibrational foods for our higher cognitive function. Much love. Blessings to all of you. The 3 eating habits you didn't know are trauma responses. How about that? Was this a good one? I hope so. I feel uplifted by this message today, and I hope you do too. Much love. I'll see you in the next one. Sending you love beams from over here in Austin, Texas. Bye-bye.
Is this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better.